Magnum T.A. is now well into his 60s, but a lot of people still wonder what happened to him. Where is he today? And how did that terrible car accident change everything for him? His career was on fire, then suddenly it was all gone. So let's talk about what really happened, how it all fell apart, and where life took him after the crash. Magnum T.A. started his journey in professional wrestling in the late 1970s. Growing up in Georgia, Terry was drawn to athletics from a young age, excelling in both football and wrestling during his school years. His natural charisma, good looks, and athletic ability made him a perfect candidate for professional wrestling, where larger-than-life personalities often define careers. He trained under some notable figures in the industry, honing his in-ring skills and learning the art of connecting with an audience. Magnum T.A. first began appearing in regional wrestling promotions, cutting his teeth in small towns and gaining experience week after week. His early days were marked by dedication and a willingness to learn. He wasn't the flashiest wrestler at first, but he had something that can't be taught: the ability to make fans genuinely care about his character and his matches. It didn't take long for him to get noticed. By the early 1980s, he had joined Jim Crockett Promotions, a key territory in the National Wrestling Alliance. Here, Magnum T.A. began to establish himself as more than just a promising rookie. He became a fan favorite almost immediately, thanks to his clean-cut look, incredible energy, and straightforward, relatable persona. Unlike some wrestlers who relied solely on gimmicks, Magnum's appeal came from his authentic charisma and impressive in-ring performance. Fans felt like he was one of them, a hard-working, all-American hero in a sport often dominated by flamboyant villains. One of the defining moments of Magnum T.A.'s early career was his series of feuds with heels like Tully Blanchard and Greg Valentine. These rivalries were more than just matches, they were storytelling. Magnum had a way of selling emotion in the ring that few could match. Every punch, every slam, every near fall carried stakes that fans felt deeply invested in. He could make you cheer when he was on the offensive and wince in suspense when he struggled. This ability to connect with audiences is what truly set him apart. By the mid-1980s, Magnum T.A. had firmly established himself as one of Jim Crockett Promotions' top stars. He was involved in some of the company's biggest storylines, and it quickly became clear that the promotion had major plans for him. He wasn't just another mid-card wrestler. He was being positioned as a potential world champion. Fans and insiders alike recognized that Magnum T.A. had the package: charisma, skill, and marketable appeal. Some of his most memorable matches came during his feud with Nikita Koloff, a classic good guy versus background storyline. Nikita, the Soviet villain, was the perfect foil to Magnum's all-American hero persona. Their clashes were electric, with fans packed into arenas to see who would come out on top. These matches weren't just about wrestling. They were cultural moments during the Cold War era, where wrestling storylines often mirrored real-world tensions. Fans cheered for Magnum not just because he was skilled, but because he represented something they could root for. Another high-profile rivalry that defined Magnum T.A.'s career was with Nature Boy Ric Flair, one of wrestling's most iconic figures. Flair, with his arrogant, flamboyant persona, was the perfect heel to challenge Magnum's earnest, heroic character. Their interactions were built on the promise of Magnum eventually dethroning Flair as the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Fans were invested in this potential championship run, seeing Magnum as the anointed one, the wrestler destined to take the top spot and carry the company into a new era. Throughout this time, Magnum T.A. was known not just for his rivalries, but for his in-ring style. He combined technical skill with high-impact moves that thrilled the audience without coming off as reckless. He was fast, agile, and incredibly consistent. His matches often had a cinematic quality, telling a story from start to finish that left fans cheering, crying, or both. He was able to sell drama in ways that made every match feel significant, whether it was a small bout in a local arena or a televised main event. Magnum T.A.'s popularity wasn't limited to the ring. His good looks and natural charm made him a fan favorite outside wrestling as well. Merchandise sales, posters, and appearances reflected his status as one of the brightest stars in the business. People didn't just come to see him wrestle. They came to see him as a symbol of excellence and hope, a wrestler who could embody the excitement and heroism of professional wrestling. By 1986, Magnum T.A. had reached a peak in his career. Fans, promoters, and peers all expected him to soon win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship from Ric Flair. He was positioned as a future icon, someone who could carry the sport into a new era of storytelling and athleticism. Every match, promo, and storyline reinforced his rise, cementing his status as a top-tier talent. His blend of skill, charisma, and marketable persona made him a rare commodity, a wrestler who had it all. Magnum T.A.'s achievements in this period were remarkable. He had multiple high-profile victories, main event appearances, and was consistently at the center of major storylines. He wasn't just a star, he was the future of Jim Crockett Promotions and one of the brightest young talents in all of professional wrestling. On October 14, 1986, Magnum T.A.'s life took a tragic and unexpected turn. Terry Allen, driving his Porsche in heavy rain near his home in Charlotte, North Carolina, lost control of the car. The slick roads caused the vehicle to hydroplane, and it crashed violently into a utility pole. What seemed like just another rainy night instantly became a life-altering event. That car accident didn't just hurt his body, it changed the course of professional wrestling history. The crash was devastating. Magnum T.A. suffered severe injuries to his C4 and C5 vertebrae, which essentially exploded upon impact. This caused major spinal cord damage, leaving him initially paralyzed from the neck down. Doctors at the time were very grim about his chances. Many doubted whether he would ever be able to walk again, let alone recover enough to live a normal life. For a man whose career depended on strength, agility, and movement, the prognosis was catastrophic. At the time of the accident, Magnum T.A. was at the pinnacle of his wrestling career. He was the hottest star in Jim Crockett Promotions and a major fan favorite. Plans were already in place for him to challenge Ric Flair for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, a crowning achievement that could have solidified his status as a wrestling legend. Instead, the accident instantly ended those dreams. The wrestler who was destined to take the top spot was suddenly forced to step away from the ring. Wrestling fans across the country were shocked and devastated. A bright star had vanished overnight. The immediate aftermath of the crash was grueling. Magnum T.A. was rushed to the hospital, where doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize his condition. The pain, uncertainty, and emotional toll were enormous. For someone used to being in control, powerful, and celebrated, the sudden loss of independence was crushing. He had to confront the reality that he might never walk, never wrestle, and never reclaim the life he had built for himself. It was a humbling and frightening experience. Magnum's struggle didn't end in the hospital. The accident marked the beginning of a long and arduous rehabilitation process. Physical therapy was grueling, painful, and slow. Every step, sometimes literally, was a battle. But Magnum T.A. refused to give up. Against the odds and the pessimistic forecasts of medical professionals, he gradually regained limited mobility. He learned to walk again, though with assistance such as a cane or leg braces. The journey was excruciating, both physically and emotionally, but his perseverance became a testament to human resilience. The wrestling world didn't forget him. Fellow wrestlers, promoters, and fans rallied around Magnum T.A., offering support, encouragement, and admiration. His courage in the face of such adversity inspired many. Even Nikita Koloff, his former on-screen rival, turned into a fan favorite as part of a storyline that showed respect for Magnum's struggle. It was a rare moment where real-life events influenced wrestling storytelling, creating a narrative that blurred the line between fiction and reality. The respect and admiration he earned from peers helped maintain his legendary status, even if he could no longer compete in the ring. The emotional and psychological impact of the accident was as significant as the physical injuries. Magnum T.A. had built his identity around being a professional wrestler, a man of action and strength. To lose that overnight was a shock. Many athletes struggle with similar identity crises after career-ending injuries, but Magnum's approach was unique. He channeled his energy into recovery, inspiration, and remaining connected to the wrestling community. Interviews and appearances over the years show that he took pride not just in what he accomplished before the accident, but in the courage he displayed afterward. Although his in-ring career was over, Magnum T.A. remained a beloved figure in wrestling. Fans continued to celebrate his past matches, his rivalries, and the what could have been moments of his career. Magazines, documentaries, and retrospectives often feature him as one of the greatest wrestlers whose trajectory was tragically cut short. His story serves as a reminder of both the unpredictability of life and the importance of resilience in the face of unforeseen challenges. Magnum's post-accident life also included mentoring, appearances, and maintaining a presence within the wrestling world. While he could no longer compete, he influenced younger wrestlers, shared his experiences, and became a symbol of determination. His legacy isn't just about the matches he won or the feuds he fought. It's also about how he handled one of the toughest moments any human being could face. And then that's a wrap for today's video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any updates. We'll catch you in the next one. See you soon. Bye.